everybody! Welcome back to Positively Carly. It's Carly. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday. I'm having a great Saturday. It's Saturday, April 2nd, 2016, and today is World Autism Awareness Day. Yay! And the color for Autism Awareness Day, the whole month of April is actually Autism Awareness Month, but today is World Autism Awareness Day. So the color for Autism Awareness is blue, and I'm rocking my blue. And I got my puzzle piece, my Autism Speak puzzle piece that my husband got for me. And I have these great puzzle piece bracelets that I'm not wearing today, and I feel terrible, but they're in my jewelry box, and I just don't feel like taking them out. Sorry. But my husband also bought these from Autism Speaks. They're the little plasticky bracelets that say Autism Speaks. So we're just wearing those in support of everybody that is that has autism or deals with autism every single day. It's funny, I have a friend of mine who has excuse me, that has two sons with autism on the spectrum, and he posted this meme the other day that was really funny, and it said, Autism Awareness Day, well, that's every day in our house. And that's true, that's every day in our house, too. But here's, for those of you that don't know, I know I've done a few other videos about this, but my son also has autism, so this day is very important to us. We do like to spread the message about autism awareness and acceptance. But I kind of wanted to share the story about his diagnosis. Now, it's not particularly different from a lot of other people's, but it's definitely good to know. Now, with that being said, my pregnancy was not great. My delivery of him was even more traumatic. It was pretty awful. It was just a really bad experience. Well, my son was born 2 months early, and he had to stay in the NICU for 6 weeks before we were able to bring him home. Now, he came home, and we're new parents, so we don't really know what's happening. And so what we're discovering is that, things were a little bit tougher. We just couldn't figure it out. Like, he was developing pretty on point. Like, for a baby that was preemie, he was reaching the goals for preemie. And then around 18 months, 2 years old, and you're going to find this with, this is kind of the common thread with most autism stories. Like, right when they would hit 18 months, 2 years old, is when things kind of got stunted. Like nothing was going backwards per se for our experience, but nothing was going forward. Like, he wasn't really gaining speech. He was having, he had serious tactile issues. Like, his whole thing is he liked to play in mud. He liked to play in water, and his speech wasn't good. His eye contact wasn't good. So, you're new parents, and you're just, and especially in our case, we just had to, we were just working. We had to work. We had bills to pay. We had things we had to get done, and, it wasn't really until probably he was 3 years old, and it just got to the point where it was like, it wasn't getting better. We couldn't figure out what the problem was. So finally, we just bit the bullet. We went to the county, because luckily where we live, because we were residents, we were able to get all of his assessments done for free because we were county residents. And then, they sat us down for our last meeting, and we went through a series of assessments. Like, it was about 4 or 5 assessments we had to do with the county. And luckily this was happening all over the summer. So we were able to get them all done in the summer, which actually was a humongous blessing in disguise. So once we got a diagnosis from the psychiatrist, he started school in a program called the Mini-MIPA program, and he started that September. So he got a diagnosis in tail end of July, and then he started school that September. He started a program, and it changed our whole life. Like, the woman that was his teacher, brilliant. And he's doing he's doing really, really well. You know, he's a big guy, he's really sweet, he's really smart. He doesn't have great speech. Like, his expressive language isn't great, but his receptive language, like when you talk to him, he completely understands you. Totally understands you. He still has, you know, issues with getting overstimulated. Like when we go, today's a great example. We went into Toys R Us today, and typically we will take with us these really huge, like, noise-canceling headphones, just because, you know, when you're in a space that, you know, it's got the light, the sound, the smells in Toys R Us I can't take. It just smells like chemical and gross, and it makes me ill. But I have to give, you know, I gotta give Corey credit. He did a really good job today. We went in, and we didn't have his headphones. We left them at home. We went in, and he's, like, looking around at all the Skylanders, and he's, you know, he's having a good time. He's being a good kid. So he's, you know, he's getting older. And so every kind of phase of school is kind of like a new experience and a new journey. So this is last year in, I think he's in his room, he's giggling at something. This is his last year of junior high. He will be going into high school. I know I'm going to be the parent of a high schooler. I don't know what I'm going to do, guys. So he's going to be going into high school really soon. But I did want to kind of say this about it. You know, if you know someone who is a parent of a child with autism, there's nothing more in my life that I appreciated is when my father-in-law was the one that did this. He stepped up and he said, you know, well, let me, you know, be Corey's caregiver. And that actually worked out. You know, he retired, I think 2 weeks before Corey started school. And then once Corey started school, he was his, like, after-school caregiver. And he would take Corey, it'd be so funny, like, every other weekend he would take Corey home with him just to have some time with him. And he spoiled me and my husband rotten, for sure. But I tell you that to tell you this, is that if you know somebody that has a child on the spectrum, you know, offer to help out. I mean, a lot of the times parents have a hard time, you know, getting on services with kids with autism because they don't always know what's available to them, because they're not always told, because it takes forever to get set up with these things. It took the program that Corey is on right now, it took us a year to get him on it. So from start to finish, it takes a long, long time. So I say that, like, just give, if the parents need a night out, just give them a night out. Just go over, hang out with the kids for a little bit, make a mess, have a good time. You know, it's tough. It's tough on the parents. It's particularly tough on parents that both work and they're not able to be at home with their child, but it's really hard on the parents that, you know, only one parent works and the mom has to stay home with the child. Now that can be rough. I'm not saying that, you know, I never got the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom. I would have loved to have done that, but it just wasn't, you know, it wasn't something that was going to happen. So, you know, if you know a mom that is a stay-at-home mom with a child with special needs, if you have the time, take them out for coffee. Like, go with them to a park. Offer to come over just so that she can run some errands and just can kind of get time to herself and recharge herself. So, but yeah, that's all I got for today. So I want to wish everybody a very happy Autism Awareness Day and a very happy Autism Awareness Month. The whole month of April is Autism Awareness, so be aware, be accepting, and do what you can to help out. So, I would like to give my celebrity shout out to a couple people today. Temple Grandin, whom I love and adore. She was actually kind of a pioneer in the whole autism community, explaining what it was, you know, and what the best things are to kind of kind of handle it as a person with autism. Carly Fleischman, no relation to me, even though we have the same name. She is also a young woman that lives with autism. I believe her and her dad have co-authored some books together, and believe they did a documentary about her as well. Also, I feel terrible. It was the doctor that first came up with the diagnosis of autism. Anyway, whoever you are, may you rest in peace, because I know you're not with us anymore. But